Superheroes pay homage to fellow superheroes, I have to call them out. And obviously, that's not explosive damage, that's an homage to Power Girl's Whole. I'll just leave that there. Welcome to the heart of the stories we tell. My name is Rob, and tonight I will be reviewing Supergirl Episode 18, Ace Reporter. And that's what they used to call Clark Kent, Ace Reporter Clark Kent. I do have to wonder, though, is there anything Supergirl's done up till now to deserve that title? Just to recap, in case this is your first episode, Supergirl is Superman's cousin, shot here to Earth, came late. She was a teenager. He was already Superman. She didn't need to use her powers, so she didn't. She went to school for something and got a job at Catco, where she was basically a glorified secretary. Then she went on to try to become a reporter like her cousin Clark, and this guy is the person who she was reporting to. He's a grade A douche. This is her boyfriend. His name is Mon-El. He's an alien as well. That was his mom. She's a psychopathic killer. And we ended the mid-season break, the holiday break, with Mon-El and her just getting back together after a minor break, and his mother killing his father, and going into homicidal rage. Now let's get this thrown up here and catch up with tonight's episode. So once again, it's stop. Spoiler time. The episode begins by focusing on some minor characters, what an ass Snapper can be, and reminding me the fact that I'm not a big fan of Jimmy Olsen being Guardian, but it wasn't too bad. And let's not forget the love interest that I was firmly convinced was going to end up not being around much longer, but appears to still be. And the idea that Supergirl doesn't know what to do. I mean, what do you do if your secret identity gets fired? It's a rather interesting thing that doesn't happen to most comic book characters. And of course, the Lena Luthor conversation that was so on point, it was just perfect. What's your kryptonite? Now, I will say, that is a hysterical thought process to have in-universe. If I were Kara, I totally would have just said my cute new boyfriend, but I guess she doesn't think that quick on her feet. Instead, they leave it to our imagination what she says. And that's fine, because that's what brings us to our main threat of the night. A villainous smoke cloud that's been reimagined in this as nanotech. And it's pretty cool. By the way, also stars the same guy that plays Ravi on iZombie. Gotta say, the fact that he's not playing cute and cuddly in this episode totally drove me for a loop. Like I said, in the comics, Biomax is a biological living cloud. In this, he's nanites. And not even he himself. It's a long story. But that's what brings us to the explosion that I started tonight's with. The explosion that somehow only pries a hole in her shirt, but whatever. The explosion was an attempt to try to make this more of a mystery, a murder mystery type thing where they're following the money and sources. Which makes me wonder why the cop isn't one of the supporting cast members tonight. But instead we get the B story that is Laurel trying to help out with being Guardian. And of course, she has superpowers and is an alien, so she's a better Guardian than Guardian. So we need to derive a reason why she wouldn't be a good vigilante. And of course that means we need to run into a little kid who's the criminal. And oh no, Jim would have totally let him go and get away with his crime, and that's totally what we do as vigilante. You know what? It was so contrived, it made me dislike Guardian Jimmy even more than I already did. Seriously, either accept her help or don't. It's not like we don't have other people running around doing things. And, I mean, the cast is full of people trying to help and working with the DEO, and I don't see why she can't be part of that. I really don't. But I guess that's also the reoccurring theme of tonight's episode. See, Lena left our villain because he made her make a choice, work or home life. Now, we're watching Win have the same problem, work or home life. Now, in his case, it's the crazy hot girlfriend who's actually a better superhero than your best bud, but whatever. Now, at the same time, we have Supergirl's whole issue with her secret identity being fired. She has a work-home life issue. All of them are playing up the fact that you need more in your life than just love, but you also need more in your life than just work. And I think it's kind of interesting that we had Mon-El working with her, doing the whole searching the office thing, because that was, again, showcasing the how you make the work-life balance. Now, Jimmy doesn't actually have anything to go with that with, because right now he's not got a girl. But Win does, and that's kind of why they had to tie it all together. And I think they did a pretty good job of that. Of course, the fact that in one case we've got an alien that's super strong that wants to fight crime, and in the other case we have a supervillain who's composed of nanoswarms, means it's a little different. Although, just to be funny, him pining after Lena does remind me of his iZombie character, because his iZombie character is currently having the same problem of he doesn't know how to talk to the woman he cares about. You should watch that show too, it's pretty good. I don't review it normally, but maybe when the season's up I'll do an episode or two about it. But the main thrust of tonight's episode is really all about, can Kara make a life for herself outside of work? Can Kara be someone other than Supergirl? And remember, the first season, Catco was a mainstay. In fact, it was probably one of the biggest sets they used. So I knew full well that the being fired wasn't going to take forever. And obviously an episode entitled Ace Reporter was the one she was coming back in. But I'm curious what the new development's going to be, what the new status quo is. We have Snapper Carr, and I kind of like the way he's arrogant and an asshole, but at the same time trying to teach a lesson. Kind of like a reverse Martian Manhunter, and a completely different type of mentor than she had with Cat Grant. All in all, I'm pretty happy with the way things turned out. And of course, we need to talk about that surprise ending. Exactly what's going on with Lena Luthor. But before we do, there's only 5 episodes left on Supergirl, and we already know one thing about the finale. We know who's coming back. Her cousin, Superman. And as such, I just want to start thinking now about what it is that's going to be the big season finale. Could it be an invasion of the White Martians? I certainly hope so. Of course, that plotline has been foreshadowed, but then again, so is a much more intensive Daxmite storyline. Could they merge the two? The White Martians working with the Daxmites? I don't know. We still have to figure out what's going on with President Wonder Woman. Well, the president who's pretending to be a person because she's an alien. So at the end of the episode, we have everyone pretty much getting back together again. We have the happy couple, we have Kara getting her job back, we even have a great scene with Kara and Lena Luthor where she says, "I'll always be your friend and I'll always protect you." Man, if that doesn't have Smallville, Clark, and Lex written all over it, I don't know what does. And if ever there was foreshadowing of what's going to go wrong. But then there's the end of the episode. And the end of the episode shows just a little more interpersonal blah going on. Because Kara's boyfriend's mother's back, and mother-in-laws are always trouble, right guys? But boom, she's got a business proposal for Lena Luthor. Luthor and a villain working together. Huh, who would have seen that coming? My question to you is, do you think that's going to be more of the play up towards the last 5 episodes, or do you think we're going to handle that before the end of the season? Let me know down in the comments. In the meantime, next week looks like another awesome job of Supergirl being blackmailed, and I'm willing to bet they're going to forget the fact that they have Martian Manhunter, but we'll see. Overall, I'm still pretty happy with this season, and I'm enjoying the show. But we've reached the point at the end of the episode where I need to ask you if you enjoyed this show, or at least this 5 or 6 minutes of me going on. If so, I need you to subscribe, like, and share this video, and in general help me build a community, because I'm trying to talk about shows, themes, symbolism, and all sorts of things about them. And you know what? You're going to help me do it if you just click those buttons and help bring in more people and start talking down in those comment section as we take a walk through the heart of the stories we tell. Thanks for watching.